You know the Fuchaman, you know?
Blessed love and honor, this is Jah9 representing for the Fuchaman, and you're listening to Reggae Up Yourself. Rastafari love.
Play some good reggae music. Some sweet reggae music.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Reggae Up Yourself podcast, and I got the beautiful Empress Jah9 with me. Good afternoon.
Blessed love, blessed love.
How are you doing?
Giving thanks, happy to be here.
You know what? I've been looking forward to catch up and interview you, but what you're showing, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, respect, give thanks.
A lot of spiritual fire.
True.
So, tell me something about you, why you're so spiritual. Where is all of that spiritual energy come from?
Wow, come from the spirit, maybe.
I get that, but were you born this way or did you grow up in a family that is this?
I definitely grew up, that was how I was raised. My father is a pastor, so we grew up knowing that, yeah man, you are spirit and you have a body, and this world is an illusion. It can be anything you make it. What is the only thing real and worth anything is the value of your soul and your character. So growing up that way, it made it easier when I was interacting in the world to remember myself,
Yeah.
And that has kind of been my journey through all the things, through school, through corporate, through this music industry. That is kind of what I hold to, that there is no higher standard I have to hold myself to than, maintaining my spirit and making sure that whatever I do, I can still go home and look my parents in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think, is your dad still a pastor?
He is not at a church anymore because his own spirituality is evolving as well.
Yeah.
And the church is a limiting factor. You will outgrow that container if you are really living in spirit. Because religion can only give you so much, organized religion. It really is up to you to bring yourself the rest of the way.
Yeah, so as a spiritual Rastafari, do you see the church as something that is created to divide and rule?
I think the church serves very, very useful purposes in this time.
Yeah.
Because it's a space where the youths can gather safely. It's a space where, in a nutshell, as a whole, they are promoting positive values. I think the functioning of the church as an institution, on the people can be very oppressive as well. I think a lot of terrible things have been carried out in the name of church and religion. And so that is why, again, I want after all of these systems, even the education system, I want us to just be careful how they interact with these systems and remember that, the onus is on you to protect yourself and your family and to learn and to know the government is not the one responsible for you. You are,
Yes.
So if you have things that way, then you won't feel like, oh, they're oppressing me, because you will know that, no one can oppress you because you are responsible for yourself.
That's true. I like that. So, bear in mind that your dad was a preacher. Did you grow up singing in the church?
Of course. My whole family. All of the people in my house can sing. It's just that none of them never really take up singing except me.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, singing hundreds of songs I have in my head, like singing church music. And then when I was in school, in a primary school, high school, university, I did on every choir. I did on all 3 choirs one time.
Yeah.
So there's so much music in my head. So that is why it is the easiest and most natural thing now for say, we're going to do this thing in the world and make music and share it with the people. And it can be, almost effortless. It's not try where we go try. It's really just ourselves we have to keep strong so that we can continue to do it.
Yeah. So, were you singing in any of the dance hall in Jamaica as a youngster?
I never ever go dance hall. I remember I grew up in the church. I grew up really sheltered. I didn't have, any draw out of go dance hall and no select and I didn't know any. When I went to high school, I still never got a party in my life when I in high school.
Yeah.
My whole world was wrapped around church and the sacred. I was boring. The world would call me boring, but my imagination was my dwelling place. So it was a joy for me to grow up and the whole of creation, love the bush, love interact with nature and the environment and herbs and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Food and everything, everything else other than the superficial things.
All right, you just mentioned loving the bush. I am a bushman. I told people proudly I'm a bushman from Senton in Jamaica. Where in Jamaica are you from?
Originally from Trelawney, West Jamaica, and then I grew up in Kingston.
Where in Trelawney are you from?
Falmouth, Trelawney.
Used to go at Chalani and Falmouth to buy my shoes, them come back to school and them thing, the bend down market.
Yes, me and the Twinkle brothers are from Trelawney.
Sure.
Falmouth, Trelawney. Same street we did grow up on too.
Yeah. So, how old were you when you moved to Kingston?
I was 8 turning 9 when I moved to Kingston. So I was in the middle of primary school, entered Kingston, went into like grade 3.
Yeah.
And then finished school there.
Oh, so you know what the big question is, isn't it? What was it like for a country girl moving into the city?
Wow, it was like a whole different world, you know?
Yeah.
Kingston felt like another country.
Yeah.
Like you grew up in Trelawney where you have free villages and people are very proud of them culture and young people respect old people, and then you come to Kingston and it's just a different world. It's just a different world, and you know, you have to adapt the way they spoke to their elders. Like everything was different. It was like watching television.
So it wasn't like going up to Albert Town at the Yam Festival where you get the roast yam and everything there. Have you been there?
No.
You haven't been up to Albert Town in Chalon at the Yam Festival?
No, I've been to a Yam Festival. I don't know if Albert Town did it, but we got to, you know what I mean? Youths them enjoy doing that. Like you go to the food festivals and you go the sea and you have, you know, every time when it's Christmas, all of the youths them gather in the square and listen to old stories and folk tales, and you know who Miss Louise and all of that. Like I grew up with a rich childhood, so when I came, all these town kids knew about was cable and some cartoon characters that I never heard of.
They come from down the bush part, only the radio here for entertainment.
And moonlight and reading books, and you know what I mean? That was my reality, and that kind of probably still is.
Alright, so it's been a mighty long journey for you, and but what I want to ask you, coming from the country girl to move into Kingston to now becoming a global superstar, everywhere I go people is talking about Jah9. What does it feel like now?
I don't know, you see, it's a thing, you know, I don't see myself or feel that way about myself. I still feel the same way I did when I just stepped into it. Kind of feels like when I just came to town. It's like you're here, but you feel like an observer, you know? You hear people using terms to describe you and you're like, oh, Zine, but you don't really internalize any of that because we have to keep ourselves actively humble. And just remember, say, we are insignificant specks in the whole big picture, but at the same time, we are powerful creators.
True.
And I am not special. I am one of, you know, many who have this power. Some people just don't know them powers. I just happen to know a little bit more than, you know?
Well, as it turns out, there's 3, when it comes to female artists coming out of Jamaica, there's main 3 that everybody talk about here in Europe. And I've been all over Europe, and it's you, Queen Africa, and Itana. How does that make you feel?
I am honored to be among those sisters. They were an inspiration to I. When I just start and I see them as black woman, you know, them they don't know about to ride up on stage. Them just give it to you natural, and them voice is strong, and them message is strong, and them dead with the bridging them, hold them own, and who have things to say about them because them firm in themselves. You know what I mean? I can relate to that experience, and those are some of the women I hold in the highest regard.
Well, you know what, a complete credit to all of you, because we all know that when it comes to female and music in general, you have to be coming hard to actually go to the top. So well done, you know what I mean, and congratulations, and I wish you many success in the future.
Enough respect. Blessed Lord.